Welcome to the chapter Nationalism in India, a crucial part of your social science curriculum for 10th grade CBSE. In this chapter, we will explore how the idea of a unified Indian nation emerged and developed during the early 20th century, leading to India's independence. Modern nationalism in Europe led to the formation of nation-states, redefining identity for many. In India, this powerful consciousness of nationalism grew directly from the anti-colonial movement, where diverse groups found a common cause in their struggle against British oppression. Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress played a pivotal role in uniting these varied groups into a powerful unified movement, despite facing internal conflicts and differing interpretations of freedom. The First World War from 1914 to 1918 brought immense economic and political hardship to India, significantly impacting the lives of ordinary people. There was a massive increase in defense expenditure, financed by war loans and new taxes like customs duties and income tax, which doubled prices between 1913 and 1918. This period also saw forced recruitment of rural people into the army, widespread crop failures in 1918-19 and 1920-21, leading to severe food shortages, and a devastating influenza epidemic that tragically resulted in 12 to 13 million deaths by 1921. Mahatma Gandhi returned to India in January 1915 from South Africa, bringing with him a revolutionary method of mass agitation known as Satyagraha. The idea of Satyagraha emphasized the power of truth and the need to search for truth, advocating a non-violent resistance that appealed to the oppressor's conscience, rather than using physical force. Gandhiji successfully organized early Satyagraha movements in India, including the Champaran Satyagraha in 1917 against the oppressive plantation system, the Kheda Satyagraha in 1917 for peasants demanding revenue relaxation, and the Ahmedabad Satyagraha in 1918 for cotton mill workers. Emboldened by his early successes, Mahatma Gandhi launched a nationwide Satyagraha against the infamous Rowlatt Act of 1919, which allowed the British government to detain political prisoners without trial for 2 years. Protests began with a massive hurtle on the 6th of April, involving rallies, strikes, and shop closures across the country. The British responded with brutal repression, culminating in the horrific Jallianwala Bagh massacre on the 13th of April 1919, where General Dyer opened fire on a large, peaceful crowd, killing hundreds to create a moral effect and terrorize the Satyagrahis. Following the violence of Jallianwala Bagh, Mahatma Gandhi sought to unite Hindus and Muslims, taking up the Khilafat issue. The defeat of Ottoman Turkey in the First World War led to fears of a harsh treaty on the Khalifa, the spiritual head of Islam, prompting the formation of a Khilafat committee in Bombay in March 1919 by Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. Gandhiji, in his book Hind Swaraj 1909, had argued that British rule survived due to Indian cooperation, and if Indians refused to cooperate, Swaraj would come within a year. This led to the Calcutta Congress session in September 1920, adopting the non-cooperation movement, combining the demands for Khilafat and Swaraj, and further solidified at the Nagpur Congress session in December 1920. The non-cooperation Khilafat movement began in January 1921, drawing participation from various social groups, each interpreting Swaraj in their own way. In towns, middle-class individuals boycotted foreign goods, picketed liquor shops, and burned foreign cloth, while students, teachers, and lawyers left government institutions. In the countryside, peasants in Awadh, led by Baba Ramchandra, protested against high rents, and Bagh, organizing Nai Dhobi Bands, and tribal peasants in the Gudem Hills, led by Alluri Sitaram Raju, launched a militant guerrilla movement against colonial forest laws and forced Bagh. Plantation workers in Assam also joined, believing Gandhi Raj meant freedom to move inland, defying the Inland Emigration Act of 1859. In February 1922, Mahatma Gandhi abruptly withdrew the non-cooperation movement after the Chauri Chaura incident in Gorakhpur, where a peaceful demonstration turned into a violent clash with the police, highlighting the need for proper Satyagrahi training. Within the Congress, leaders like C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru formed the Swaraj Party to participate in provincial council elections and oppose British policies, while younger leaders such as Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhas Chandra Bose advocated for more radical agitation. The late 1920s also saw a worldwide economic depression, causing agricultural prices to collapse after 1930, and the arrival of the All-British Simon Commission in 1928, which was met with widespread go-back Simon protests. In December 1929, the Lahore Congress under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru formalized the demand for Purn Swaraj or complete independence, declaring the 26th of January 1930 as Independence Day. Mahatma Gandhi ingeniously connected this abstract idea to a concrete, everyday issue, the oppressive salt tax, which affected all Indians. On the 31st of January 1930, he sent Viceroy Irwin 11 demands, including the abolition of the salt tax. When Irwin refused to negotiate, Gandhi began his historic Salt March on the 12th of March 1930, walking 240 miles from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi with 78 volunteers. On the 6th of April, he ceremonially violated the salt law by manufacturing salt, marking the beginning of the civil disobedience movement, which involved not only non-cooperation, but also the deliberate breaking of colonial laws. During the civil disobedience movement, thousands across India broke the salt law, manufactured salt, and demonstrated at government factories. Foreign cloth was boycotted, liquor shops picketed, peasants refused to pay revenue, and chowkidari, taxes and forest laws were violated. The colonial government responded with brutal repression, arresting Congress leaders like Abdul Ghaffar Khan, which sparked violent protests in Peshawar, and Mahatma Gandhi's arrest led to attacks on symbols of British rule in Sholapur. The government's actions included attacking peaceful Satyagrahis, beating women and children, and arresting 100,000 people. Eventually, Gandhi called off the movement and signed the Gandhi-Irwin Pact on the 5th of March 1931, agreeing to attend the Round Table Conference and securing the release of political prisoners. While the civil disobedience movement saw widespread participation, different social groups had varied ideals and experiences. Rich peasant communities like the Patidars and Jaits were active, viewing Swaraj as a fight against high revenues, but were disappointed when the movement was called off in 1931 without revenue revision. Poorer peasants seeking rent remission joined radical movements, but Congress was reluctant to support no-rent campaigns. Indian merchants and industrialists forming bodies like FCI initially supported the CDM for economic freedom, but later grew wary of militant activities. Industrial working classes largely stayed aloof, though some participated selectively, while women participated extensively in marches and picketing, seeing national service as a sacred duty, though their role was often limited to symbolic presence. Not all groups fully embraced the abstract idea of Swaraj, and the civil disobedience movement faced significant limitations regarding Dalits and Muslims. Untouchables, who began calling themselves Dalit or oppressed, were largely ignored by Congress to avoid offending Sanatanis, conservative high-caste Hindus. However, Mahatma Gandhi championed their cause, calling them Harijan and organizing Satyagraha for their rights. Dalit leaders like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who founded the Depressed Classes Association in 1930, demanded separate electorates for political empowerment, leading to a clash with Gandhi and the eventual Pune Pact in September 1932, which granted reserved seats but through joint electorates. Muslim political organizations were also lukewarm to CDM, feeling alienated from Congress, and fearing their identity would be submerged under a Hindu majority, with leaders like Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Sir Muhammad Iqbal advocating for separate electorates to safeguard Muslim interests. Beyond mass movements, a sense of collective belonging, crucial for nationalism, was fostered through various cultural processes. History, fiction, folklore, songs, popular prints and symbols, all played a vital role. The identity of India was often personified as Bharat Mata, first created by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in the 1870s, who also wrote Vande Mataram. Abanindranath Tagore painted a famous image of Bharat Mata in 1905 as an ascetic divine figure. Nationalists also revived Indian folklore, collecting tales and legends to restore national pride, and used icons and symbols like the Swadeshi movement's tricolour flag and Gandhiji's Swaraj flag with a spinning wheel. The reinterpretation of history, glorifying ancient India's achievements, also instilled pride, though sometimes alienating other communities. The first half of the 20th century witnessed a growing anti-colonial anger that united diverse Indian groups under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. The Congress aimed to channel these grievances into organized movements to forge national unity. Yet the diverse aspirations meant freedom had different meanings for different groups, leading to frequent breakdowns in unity and inner conflict. Despite these challenges, a powerful nation with many voices seeking freedom was emerging. The Quit India movement, launched by Gandhiji on the 8th of August 1942, following the failure of the Crips mission and discontent during World War II, demanded immediate British withdrawal. Gandhi's famous do-or-die speech inspired a non-violent mass struggle, bringing the state machinery to a standstill, with thousands of ordinary people and leaders like Jayaprakash Narayan, Aruna Asaf Ali, and Matangini Hazra participating before it was suppressed by the British. In summary, the chapter Nationalism in India has shown us how the anti-colonial struggle, fueled by the impact of the First World War, gave birth to a unified national consciousness. We explored Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy of Satyagraha and the major movements he led, including the non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement, along with the Rowlatt Act and the tragic Jallianwala Bagh massacre. We also understood how different social groups from peasants and workers to women and business classes participated with their unique interpretations of Swaraj and the challenges faced in uniting Dalits and Muslims. Finally, we saw how cultural processes, symbols like Bharat Mata, and the reinterpretation of history fostered a sense of collective belonging, culminating in the powerful Quit India movement, all contributing to India's journey towards independence.
This video was generated using evilly.com. It's the all-in-one AI platform where you can instantly turn any PDF into a video, generate interactive quizzes, MCQs, true or false, etc. from your content. Share quiz links instantly. No sign-up needed for your students or friends to take them. Check out evilly.com now and start transforming your documents into engaging videos and quizzes. I have added some sample quizzes in the description for you to practice.